Visuals and welcome back. Did I proper prolong that, drag that hello out there, didn't I? Hi Visuals, welcome back channel, welcome back to Pokemon Thursday, the day of the week where we're going to talk all about how many planets can we name in our solar system. Mars, you got, which is the one that they changed from a planet to not a planet anymore? Was that Jupiter? I think that was Jupiter. Was it Jupiter? Was it Uranus? Lol. What one was that? Mars, was it maybe it was Venus. I'm your Venus, pure desire. Sorry, it's just that same old meme we're going to do. I trick everybody. People come along, they think, oh, Pokemon video. I'm like, yeah, welcome back to Pokemon Thursday. We're going to talk about not Pokemon. Then I go, yes, we are really. And nobody but me in the world laughs. I'm such a fucking idiot. No, we are here to talk about Pokemon, and more importantly, we're here to talk about a legend in the world of Pokemon. The gone but not forgotten, I don't mean in terms of dead, Ash Ketchum. We're going to continue with another Pokemon list visuals. We've been smashing off these lists, and I've been having so much fun doing it. But a list that I've never actually done before, but I have done a similar sort of video, but a list that we haven't done before, and I'm going to go down and rank all of Ash's teams. I'm going to, we're going to rank it from my least favourite to my favourite. I don't know if we're going to do it as in the best team, because there's a lot of things we've got to take into account for. How well the team did in particular tournaments, how good they were as a collective, how powerful individual Pokemon were, fully evolved Pokemon, pre-evolved Pokemon. There's a lot of variables you got to chuck into this. I will have a little bit of biasry, I guess, because I have favourite certain teams that he's had throughout the generations. But we're going to rank Ash's teams from what I think is the best / my favourite to the worst / least favourite to the best / favourite. We're gonna do it that way. Yeah. We definitely did a video making a team using all of Ash's Pokemon. I think that was back, did we do that video a couple of years ago? I think maybe we were only in, maybe Sword and Shield only just started, so we had like a team of 7 or whatever it was, or 8 rather, I should say. But yeah, anyway, regardless, I want to know your thoughts and opinions. Who's your favourite Ash Ketchum team? Who do you think is the best Ash Ketchum team? Is it the Gala stuff purely because he become world champion? Is it the Alola stuff because again he become champion, or was it the Gen 5 stuff because he got quite? I have got it written down as records and stuff. Either way, let me know how you would, give points and how you would deduct teams higher and further up the list and whatnot. What variables you would add to it. But anyway, Visuals, let's crack on and let's talk about my list. I phrased all of that so weird. Rules, I know the rules and so do... No, you know the rules and so... I can't even do lyrics right. Here we go with my least favourite / worst Ash Ketchum team. Straight away, I'm going to have to say it's the Generation 5 team. I have written down that way. I have notes and shit because I won't fucking remember everything. If we quickly name off who the main team consisted of, Pikachu, obviously, I shouldn't need to say that for every team, Unfezant, Oshawott, Scraggy, Snivy, Pignite, but then there was the likes of Leavanny, Palpitoad, Boulder, of course, my boy, Crocodile, constantly in there. Now, this was so hard to put at the bottom of the list because of my sheer love for Crocodile, and Ash's Crocodile was fairly powerful. It was a beast of a Crocodile. But he only made it to the top 8 in the conference in that particular season. I think there's too many weak components in this team. Obviously, it hasn't always hindered him, but it is a bit of a hindrance not evolving your Pokemon because, the likes of Oshawott could have been so much better. Scraggy could have been so much better. Snivy could have been so much better. Unfezant is, I'm sorry, but Unfezant is a piece of shit. Leavanny's not particularly powerful. Palpitoad and Boulder are decent enough. His best for me anyway, and most powerful Pokemon in this particular team were Crocodile and Pignite still had an evolution to go. So yeah, I mean, it made it to top 8, which is decent, but the team itself is just very lackluster. It's very, we remember Pikachu losing to Snivy at the start of that season, and you're thinking technically in terms of levels, and well, not Pikachu, but like a level Infinity, this is going to be like a level 5 Snivy. I know there was some shenanigans and stuff, but how the fuck's that just happened? It just shouldn't have done. I don't know, it just feels like the weakest team. He did okay in the particular conference, but yeah, it's just a bit of a flat, mundane, boring apart from my boy Crocodile. Yeah, I'm sorry Crocodile, but it's going to be my least favourite and / least best. Next up, because this is really hard to do, I'm going to go, because I haven't actually tiered it yet, I'm going to go through it as we break it down. I'm going to have to probably say, I'm going to have to say Generation 3. Right, he made it in that particular tournament. He made it to the top 8, which is awesome, badass, cool, another top 8. And the team did consist of these, plus you've got the Battlefront Frontier stuff that he did there, which is obviously a huge bonus. But I think the team definitely leaves a bit to be desired as well. Without the likes of Sceptile included and maybe Glalie. I don't know. Sceptile and Pikachu, obviously badasses in their own rights and whatnot. But like Torkoal, Corpfish, yes, there was the Donphan. I think it was Don. He had Phanpy evolved. And Donphan had his Battle Frontier stuff, didn't he? I'm pretty sure it was Donphan in that one. I don't know. It just, again, it feels like another sort of flat team. I do like Swellow. I do like Torkoal. I do like Corpfish. I just think there was better mons he could have went out and got that slightly more powerful. They could have helped him get a little bit further maybe in that particular conference. Yeah, I'm going to stick with this one as next on the list. Like I said, I love Sceptile so fucking much. And obviously Pikachu speaks for itself. And he did get to a top 8, which is good. But I think he could have done a little bit better. Yes, the Battle Frontier stuff was really, really great. But I think the overall team and the overall layout throughout the series and stuff was a bit flat. This is actually so hard to rank because there's teams that you'd place everywhere else. But I do have arguments to defend them. I'm going to say Generation 4 team. Consisting mostly of Staraptor, Torterra, Gliscor, Buizel, Infernape. You had Gibble at times as well, of course. Pikachu again. And this one was a really good one because he had an amazing battle with Paul. A fantastic battle. One of my favourite battles of Ashes of all time, especially the Infernape Electivire sort of moment and stuff. Absolutely loved it. And the Tobias thing, because he made it to the top 4, and the Tobias thing was a little bit fucked because what did he have again? He had a Darkrai and a Latias. He had one of the Latias. It was Latios. Correct me in the comments below. I'm sure it was Latios. Am I seeing blue in my head or am I seeing red? Either way, which was a little bit fucked up because, and he was able to do decent enough against them, but it was a bit weird when he came out and he started chucking out these, the Darkrai's that you're thinking, what the fuck's going on here? This is a little bit unfair. Like I said, he made it to the top 4 though, and that is a really, really, really strong team. It's a super strong team. Staraptor, amazing. Torterra, beautiful. Gliscor, amazing. Even Buizel, yes, he didn't evolve it, but Buizel's still a decent enough Pokemon. Infernape, outstanding. Again, Pikachu speaks for itself. The Gibble you could sort of take in and out. Gibble didn't affect a great deal of this overall story, alright, did he? But he made it to the top 4 with that. He actually finally started evolving his Pokemon. Like I said, he had 2 really strong starters there. Staraptor being one of the best regional birds. Gliscor being an absolute badass. Like I said, even Buizel being really, really cool. Maybe should have been a Floatzel, but I liked Ashen as Buizel. So I know it might be ranked a little bit far down because he got a top 4 finish, and it is a really structured and really quite powerful team. But the ones that come next on the list, I genuinely feel like do boost it over a little bit. So I might be a bit harsh on Gen 4, but I do have reasons for the other ones. Next up, we're going to go for Generation 2 with a main core team of like Heracross, Bayleaf, Noctowl, Totodile, Cyndaquil. He had Phanpy for this bit as well, didn't he? He had, who else did he fucking have? Larvitar, obviously, of course, Pikachu. He made it to the top 8 in this with a fucking beautiful, beautiful matchup against Gary. Absolutely fucking, Gary was Generation, he did have it because he remembers Heracross not coming out. Right, admittedly, I will be a little bit biased in this one because Heracross was in the team. I thought his Heracross was absolutely fantastic. But I think the manner of his battles, especially getting to the top 8, were absolutely awesome. Like I said, some oldies coming back, some legends coming back. I think, despite not evolving, Cyndaquil did absolutely ace. Totodile did so great. Heracross did amazing for him. Bayleaf was awesome for him. Noctowl was phenomenal as well. I think this, like I said, I know it's like you've got the anime, anime logic and stuff. It's got the pre-evolved stuff standing out and doing a bit better. But the way that he chopped and changed his team in this, like he went into Generation 2 with his regular mons, and then he would pick up this, a Pokemon and add that, pick up this and swap this in and out. So throughout the core of the series, it was quite a varied and weird team at times, wasn't it? But I think overall it was really, really done well, and it was really, really great. But yeah, making it to the top 8. battling Gary and stuff, absolutely beautiful. I will understand the argument and the logic of maybe switching his Gen 2 team with his Gen 4 team, but I am being a bit biased. This is best / my favourite, and I do prefer his Gen 2 team to his Gen 4 because of the OG legendaries that they, with the Cyndaquils and then the Heracrosses and whatnot. So yeah, Generation 2. This one absolutely pains me to say. I don't know if it should be further up the list. Should it be? No, actually, I'm going to change it. I was going to originally say Gen 1, but I'm going to change it to Gen 6. Now, hear me out, right? Hear me out. So, we'll get to the Gen 1 stuff in a sec. But we got the likes of Lycanroc in there. We've got Talonflame in there. We've got Noivern. We've got Goodra. We've got Hawlucha. We've got Greninja, Ash Greninja. We've got Pikachu, who's super duper badass in this. And he become runner-up in this with a great Ash Greninja against Mega Charizard. Absolutely against how did you say, Elaine or whatever his name was, which was an absolutely amazing matchup. And I genuinely believed watching this that Ash was going to win it. I remember, because obviously he had the type advantage as well. I know the Mega Charizard, Elaine's Mega Charizard was super duper powerful and well-trained and stuff, but his whole team was really, really good. But I remember watching this, and I always remember relating it to like an FA Cup final or a Champions League final. Like, oh my god, like it was Newcastle. Like, oh, they're down, they're coming in. Oh, here comes Pikachu. Oh, here comes Goodra. Oh, next up is Greninja. And just being on the edge of my seat, loving life, truly believing and truly thinking that Ash was going to win this. Especially with the whole, it's a Mega Evolution, but it's not a Mega Evolution. Ash Greninja, extra power level sort of increase and stuff. And the fact that he got runner-up at this stage, it was the closest, apart from the Orange Island stuff and the Battlefront T, it was the closest we come to getting a major tournament champion. It was the closest we ever had, and I really thought they were going to pull the trigger on it and make him champion, but they didn't. But even so, it is a really strong team. Like I said, Talonflame in there is super badass. He went up against Moltres in that series as well, didn't he? There was Goodra. Fucking Goodra's badass. You could argue that maybe Hawlucha's his weakest mon, but even so, Hawlucha's badass. Noivern, amazing. It was a very wing-orientated team, this as well, wasn't it? We had Noivern with the wings, Talonflame with the wings, Hawlucha with the wings. Pikachu was fantastic in this. Greninja being a super amazing starter. So yeah, I'm going to say Generation 6, runner-up. But yeah, super strong team. Fuck, okay, who's coming in third? Who's coming in third? I'm going to say his Gen 7 team. Now, I know I haven't mentioned his Gen 1 team yet, and we will get into the specifics of that when we do get to it. But Generation 7 contains beautiful Rowlet, Lycanroc, Melmetal, Naganador, Incineroar, and at one point, I know he wasn't part of his team, but he had like a sort of mini team up with Solgaleo and stuff, and of course Pikachu. He made it as the champion. He was the first Alola champion. He'd done everything. He'd finally done it after the events of X and Y, getting to this, and we're like, oh, he's done it, our boy's champion. But I think his overall core team isn't one of his most powerful teams. Yes, they were great in these battles, and he trained them well, for example. He actually evolved to his... Well, I know Incineroar evolved extremely late on, but Naganador, Melmetal being a very unique, powerful Pokemon. Lycanroc, his only unevolved Pokemon, not including Pikachu, was Rowlet, but Rowlet was still super useful inside of all of his battles and stuff. I would love to have seen him side by side with a Decidueye or even a Dartrix, but even so it was only Rowlet that brought the power level down, I guess you could argue. But he'll become champion with this team. Our boy did it. There's a lot of fond memories there. There's a lot of happiness of like, yes, our boy's fucking gone on this alone adventure. He's become champion with this great, amazing team with an Ultra Beast on it, a couple of starters, Melmetal in the category that he's in. So yeah, I think this is a fair spot. It's because the team is very thin as well. That was mostly the core team. There was no real chopping and changing and swipping around, having this, having that. He had a bare minimal team. If you think about it, the only Pokemon that's like a real wild Pokemon you can go out and about catch yourself is the Lycanroc. It's a Rockruff. That's it, done dusted. Melmetal's unique. Naganador's unique. Rowlet and Incineroar are starters. And again, Pikachu speaks for itself. So it was a very slim team, but it was a really powerful team, and they got him a championship. So I'm saying that's number 3. Next up, I will say Generation 1. Generation 1 is probably one of the most stacked teams. And the only reason why I can't give it a top spot, yes, we have the Orange Islands championship, with a lot of these Pokemon and stuff, with a few variations. But he did get to top 16. I know top 16 was some stupid shenanigans with Charizard, and, you know, it showed Ash's lack of experience of truly leveling up his Pokemon correctly and stuff. But, like, if you think of it, and it had a lot of pre-evolved, but if you think about Bulbasaur, was super badass and powerful. His Bulbasaur was amazing. Of course, Charizard, when he wanted to be powerful, he could be. Squirtle pre-evolved. Pidgeotto was amazing. Pikachu speaks for itself. But we had reoccurring people like the Kinglers, the Mucks, the Tauruses, the Laprases of the world, the Snorlax, the Butterfree. How can I forget Butterfree as well? The lack of a top place finish brings this down, but because of the variation and the chopping and changing, if you could bring in a Kingler, you could bring in a Muck, you could bring in a Snorlax, a Lapras, the starting ones, Bulbasaur being a Bulbasaur but being powerful, Charizard when he wanted to turn up being powerful, it was a really, really powerful team. Like I said, there was a lot of variations, there was a lot of chopping and changing, plus I am being mega biased because Bulbasaur, it's the Gen 1 boysies, you know, I fucking adore them so much, the Snorlaxes of the world. I could have argued putting this up there further at myself if he got further than top 16. But because it was top 16, I don't think it can be number one. But still, it's an OG team. It's a legendary team at this point. It's a classic team. We all remember the cave huddle moment with the starters and Pidgeotto and Pikachu and that there being absolutely fucking wonderful. His Kingler was cool as fuck. His Muck was super handy at times. His Snorlax was super handy. His Lapras was amazing. But I think number 2 for Generation 1 team's definitely fair. Finally, of course, it's the Gen 8 team, his final team, where he becomes the world, what was it? Was it the Monarch? The Monarch of the world? Up against Leon anyway, Leon being super badass. Right, I know this team is very thin in terms of there's not much chopping and changing. Well, the fact that there's none at all, because we had the likes of Pikachu, Dragonite, Gengar, Dragovish. We had Lucario and Sirfetch'd. So he had just a basic team. We had 2 dragons on there. We had 2 fighting on there. Do we have 2 dragons? We have 3. Yeah, 2 dragons with Dragonite and Dragovish. We had the Ghost on there. It was an amazing team, but not only was it just a powerful team with a pseudo legendary, we had mega evolutions, we had giant big boys in the forms of, you know, Pikachu and Gengar and stuff. We had fossil Pokemon, as much as I'm not a huge fan, but I like them a bit more because of this particular one, Dragovish. We had Lucario, who's badass and super duper a legendary in his own right, and he took on Leon. That final battle was amazing, but obviously Pikachu was the one that stood out when the other teams throughout the generations come flying through. So the Gen 1 lot come in, the Gen 4, Gen 5 and all that. It was fucking amazing and badass. And Pikachu finally getting that last little gasp, taking out Leon's Charizard. Ash effectively being crowned champion of the world, monarch of the world. Solidifying his right as a Pokemon champion forever through history. A definite hard fought battle. It was definitely harder to win this, I would say, than it was his Alolan Championship. I definitely think it was a harder battle than his Kalos battle. And to be fair, I think it was harder than most, even his battle against Paul and stuff. I think this was maybe his hardest battle because of who was against and whatnot and the different dynamics at play and stuff. But yeah, Gen 8 team. Super powerful, very, very popular and powerful Pokemon on it, with all the different gimmicks of Z-moves, Mega Evolution and all that. But not only that, up against Leon, amazing battle. He become champion of the world effectively. It's the Gen 8 team. There we go, visuals. We maybe could and should have swapped Gen 4 and Gen 2 around. I think that might have been a bit more fair, actually, to have Gen 4 at Gen 2. Now I'm thinking about it. We've done it now. We'll stick with the list. We'll go with what we originally went. But I can't wait to see your comments below. I can't wait for you to score me and say you should have ranked this one high. If you think, remember this battle, they got through this and that. There'll be bits and parts that I can't remember and stuff that will play a factor in it. But like I said, a lot of this was biased-y. Even though I'm biased, but I still had Crocodile rock bottom. But I can't justify the rest of the team for me personally. But please, visuals, let me know who your favourite Ash Ketchum team is of all time. I don't care if it's just because it's your favourite or if you think it's the most powerful. Whatever the reason may be, let me know in the comments below. I very much look forward to seeing that. But there we go, visuals. That's my pick. Right, sad that we can't add another team onto this list. That list is officially done, dusted. Well, potentially forever. I don't think we're going to see one ever again. But visuals, there we go. My favourite Ash Ketchum team slash what I think is the best Ash Ketchum teams. But more importantly, like I said, let me know what you think. And visuals, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. We'll always keep being you and keep on keeping on.